One of the active debates we had over the past week was about the use of the word looting to describe the destruction of property and very much the feeling among the black journalists at the Los Angeles Times who frankly educated the rest of us to the fact that looting had a pejorative racist connotation and that comparing it to the kind of behavior of the police and the kind of behavior that we witnessed really was a false equivalency, and yet it was one that we were making as journalists if you picked up a copy of our paper.
And so that's a great conversation to have. I mean, the word riot is very similar. There is concern that it is automatically labeled as a riot if it is African Americans who are protesting, but it's not labeled as a riot when you see the same kind of destruction after a concert or after a sporting event. So there are words that have that association. So I appreciate the fact that you're having that kind of discussion at the LA Times.
It's a conversation about words. It's also, we're increasingly hearing this conversation about this traditional idea in the press of neutrality versus what some are saying now when it comes to subjects like race, what they are calling moral clarity, Norm Pearlstein, even if that means they've stepped from pure neutrality into expressing an opinion. I mean, I guess my question is journalism changing in that regard?
Well, I think fascism would be part of our mandate as a journalistic institution. Anti-racism certainly should be similarly central to our core. I think that the danger is...
Dorothy Tucker, is what's going on today calling on us to re-examine, again, that traditional definition of journalism is all about neutrality?
I think what is happening today is more than anything calling on news managers and news outlets to just really pay attention to the varying voices in their newsrooms. When it comes to just whether we should, step over a line, I don't think anyone is asking for that. I mean, we're journalists, and we're going to be fair and we're going to be accurate. But at the same time, if the information that someone is putting out there is wrong, to point that out. If what somebody is saying to you is unfair and racist, as journalists, it is our job to point that out. And I think what you're seeing more today is that journalists are more comfortable in doing that.
There is some parallel to during the Vietnam period when journalists like David Halberstam were certainly letting their opinions into their journalism, and I think it was for the better.